Hello, I wanted to make our parent video of the week about writing. So if you noticed, I've been doing a lot of extra, just different things for writing this week, and that's mainly to assist you guys, especially as we're moving from brainstorming to actually creating our writing pieces. And so here are just some quick tips to help you guys with distance learning and helping your kiddos with writing. We did the phonics projects this week intentionally, mainly to help with writing. Your child having sounds and which letters make certain sounds on the wall is going to help them to be independent writers. So when they're trying to write cave, they can say k. Oh, what letters make the k sound again? Oh, sometimes it's K, sometimes it's C. I think this time it's C. Oh, remember when we wrote with Mrs. Burns? It's C. Cave, C-A. Okay, and like they can look at that to help them. It's gonna take your support at first to build the patterns of you're sounding it out, you're referencing, you're coming back, you're trying it out. Does that look right? Okay. But then also the sight word wall is going to help them. So when they get to that sight word, they're like, oh yeah, there's my word. I draw a little picture with it. And that's why you don't want the word wall to have all of the sight words, just the ones they need help with. Because if they don't need help with it, they're going to be able to write it. I know that's T-H-E. But if it's a more challenging sight word or a newer one, they can look to the wall, take that word and write it. Okay. And if your sight word is mobile, they can take the words down to put it at their desk to write it, or maybe it's a folder or something that they can open up and use to help them write. Okay, so those are intentional to help them as writers to have resources on the wall, which is what we have in class. In addition to that, reading, writing, and thinking. So as they're writing, allowing them to read over what they write, to talk about it with you, to FaceTime their buddy and share it, set up a meeting with me on Zoom or anything so they can talk with me. But the more they're getting excited about their writing, the better it's going to be. For students who getting started writing is challenging, it's overwhelming, that's normal, especially in first and second grade, especially our first graders. It can be overwhelming because they know how to communicate. So if we ask them, hey, what's a good story you want to tell me? They can tell us all the details and go on and on and on and on and on. But putting that on paper, that transfer can be super hard. So here are some steps that can help. Let them draw first. And you kind of saw that I did that in our writing, where they got to draw the stories and what they're thinking about. To draw in detail everything, and they can use that so they don't forget when they go to writing. They can draw in sections of like, this is a picture of what happened first, what happened next, to help them keep their thoughts in order. Keep all of this in a writing folder so they can always go back to it and it's easy for them and organized. That's going to help them to be independent learners as well. So you might be doing work or helping with your other children or cooking or cleaning, and they can refer to their resources in their wall, in their folder, and that can be able to help them be more independent. They might need to still be in the room with you. They might have a few questions, but these are all things that are going to help them to be more independent writers. So letting them draw, using the word banks. We went through and we highlighted. We said, okay, we're writing about the cave. Let's read through these sections of words and let's highlight words that describe the cave. We did feeling words, we did sight words, hearing words. Going through that with your child, again, later is going to help them to be independent. Keeping that in their writing folder, or if you don't have it printed and highlighting it doesn't work, you can look at it on the computer or tablet and they can write the words that make sense for them. You can draw a picture, an eyeball for words that have to do with sight, a heart for words that are feeling words, an ear for sound words of how the cave sounded or whatever their story is. And they can refer to that. So when they're writing, they have words that they can look back to. To make it even better, they can draw pictures with those words so they remember what the word is later on. So that those are other tools, and then breaking it up to where it's like we have small chunks at a time. Do not emphasize length. Do not emphasize every detail. Let them tell you their sentence and have them write exactly what that sentence is. Sometimes we try to push them further than where they're at, and that can cause frustration. So allow them to be a writer where they're at right now and let it rest. And like next week, the week after, we're gonna take those drafts and we're gonna start working with them. But that takes time. And so don't force perfection at the first time that they start writing, because it's gonna really shut down their creativity and their motivation to write. So you want to more so let them get it out. If they use a basic sentence like I had fun, let it be. Okay, I had, and then let's sound out fun. Great. What punctuation do you want to have? And just stay there. Next week, we might be able to push them to say, okay, let's talk about this sentence, I had fun. Is there anything we want to add to make this? We're going to talk about making a mental movie next week. So them writing so that the reader can see it like a movie in their brain. So you might be able to say, how could we make it so the reader can really see how this was fun or what made this fun, and they can play with their sentences. And I'll make another video next week of how to do that, but this week it's more about helping them to get their ideas out on paper and be confident as writers. They will need your support when they're putting it all together. It will take time and they will need breaks, and all of that is more than okay. But I want them to know that they are readers, writers, and thinkers. So I hope this helped you parents for distance learning writing tips. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. As always, I appreciate all your support, and we're in this together.